Hi, this is Mr. Roche. We're working with Scratch, and we're trying to put more interesting sprites in here. Scratch has a lot of sprites that are available through their sprite library. um, but if you want to put things that are a little bit less cartoony in your project, you're going to have to do it. But sometimes you might have to use Photoshop. So this is what this is about. Okay, so I had this idea. I have this moon scene, and I wanted to put first off, maybe another cartoon character, and then second off, maybe like a large turtle. Okay, so I went to Google and I looked for large turtles. One of the things I was careful to do with the large turtle is I wanted to make sure that I had like legs here, because this is like the view of the turtle. Can't change the view, but I want to make sure that I have enough stuff that I can work with. So I looked for pictures that weren't like parts of them like cut off. And that's sort of like important, because sometimes the photos are cropped in ways that you'd have to manufacture parts of their like appendages or something like that. Like, see, like this turtle here, he doesn't have like the tippy tip of his, so you'd have to like actually take like a piece of this, put it over there, maybe something like that. Okay, but so you want to pick a view, like, see, like this turtle here is missing his like half of his head. That would be a large Photoshop job, and you're not looking for that. You need something quick and dirty. So I picked this one turtle. I'm kind of psyched about it. Where'd he go? I lost him. I got him in Photoshop. I also want to pick like a kind of a cartoon character. So I also, because backgrounds are different. Like, all these turtles are coming with really complicated backgrounds, and that's a kind of a different job than the ones that just where you have a character with just like a white or red or just a single color background. So so I wanted to do sort of both for you. So what I did was I downloaded this little poke picture here, okay, and I downloaded the picture of this turtle. Let me see what happens here. You can see him. And what we're going to do is we're going to get these guys out, and we can use them as icons then, okay, and or as sprites, okay, basically in Scratch. So see, there you go. These are the two pictures. But see, he has a white background, okay, and this turtle here, she's got this really complicated background, okay, and we're gonna work with that. She's also a really big picture too, and so like Scratch, you don't really need to have a massive picture. My whole Scratch screen is maybe like this big, so I don't know if I need this, but it's okay. I can deal with it. Bigger and better is usually the thing. So let's go. So that's the project. Let's go to Photoshop. So what I do is I open up Photoshop, okay, and I'm just going to turn it on, okay, and then what I have to do is I have to load these pictures, okay. So let me get them out of here for a second. We can do that, okay. I'm going to not save it. Okay, so what happens when Photoshop opens up, it looks like this, blank screen. What you want to do is you can actually drag and drop into this window, or you can go like this on your desktop, and I'm going to load the poke picture here. Where is it? Right here, okay. This is a PNG. PNGs are fine, okay. But what we're going to do is we're going to do stuff with this, okay. So what I need to do first is I'm going to have to save it as a Photoshop document, so I can work with it in Photoshop. I don't want to work with it in its kind of native format. I want to work with it as Photoshop. Okay, so what happens is it gets a PSD extension. Okay, it can still sit on your desktop or whatever. That's fine. And what Photoshop allows me to do is make layers. That's the big thing with Photoshop. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually keep him safe, and I'm going to duplicate his layer. Okay. And when it is a Photoshop document, it'll let me do this. So see how I get this thing called background copy? I can actually change this. I'll call this, like, I think it's Pikachu, right? I'll call him Pika. Pika. Okay, I think he's a Pika like that. Not sure. Okay, I'll call him Poke. Okay, so there he is. And what I want to do is I can turn on and off the layers, okay? See how this is here? That's terrific, okay? Even like a silhouette of him, even better. Okay, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this on the copy, okay? So you can see it. It's like this little eye that does that. I'm going to grab this thing called the magic wand. And the magic wand lets you select contiguous colors, okay? Or actually, you can actually turn this off and select all the white in here, okay. But what I want to do is I want to select all the contiguous, whatever I touch. Like, I'm going to touch white here, and what it's going to do is it's going to select all the contiguous white, touching each other white. So here we go. Ready? Boom. Okay, that is amazing. See, it gets all that stuff, right? And then I can just hit the delete key, and boom, look at that. He's like all clean, okay? Now, this is a selection. I need to turn this off because I got this like little white section. So I'm going to go up to select, okay? And see how this says Command D? I can actually use that from my keyboard. So I'm going to go Command D and turn that off, okay? I'm going to hit the magic wand again, boom, contiguous white, right? And we just hit the delete key, okay? And then I'm going to go Control D, turn off the selection. This guy is great because he's sized well. He's not, you know, there's no big frame around him or anything like that. He's kind of ready to go, okay? And what you needed to do to get him to output correctly as a sprite is that he has to have a transparent background, and this is exactly that. So what we're going to do is we just need to export a kind of a copy. So I'm going to go to here. I'm using a thing called Save for Web, but I think on other Photoshop versions you can get this through export. But I'm going to use Save for Web is like a kind of a, well, I have an older version of Photoshop, it looks like to me on my computer. So I'm going to use that. Okay. Now, different file formats allow for saving as transparent. See how JPEG gave me the white background back? That's terrible. We don't want that right now for what we're doing. So I'm going to change this to PNG. Okay, PNG 8 means 8-bit color, and what happens is they save a kind of a color table. Like these are all the color variables or color values that are inside this file, and they list them here. What happens is there's a kind of a code that, like, you know, sends you to this color table. Okay, you can have more rich PNGs. I think they make a bigger thing. I guess the color table is so big it doesn't show you what it is. For Scratch, PNG 8 is fine. It's lovely. Okay. Now, here's something you can do to, and in this particular case, I don't think I'm going to do it because I kind of like the size of him because I might need to make him big. In Scratch, if you need to make him big, you need to have like the basic size of him here. If you need to shrink him, it's easier. But if you try to expand him beyond 335, he's going to start getting pixelated, and he won't look good. So I actually want to kind of keep him fairly large. He's like as big as like he's a screen size tall in Scratch. So that seems good. So I'm going to keep this, and all I'm going to do is just go like this and save, and it does sort of all this other stuff for you. There are other instances, like he has a sharp line around him. What I want to do too is I want to make sure that he has like something called no dither, so he doesn't show up with like a little white ridge around him. Let me see if what I got here. I'm going to do like kind of everything here to kind of stop this. Okay, I want no matte. I want nothing. Okay, so I don't want any edge around him. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get this as you know, clean as possible. And then I'm going to save them, okay? So, I don't know, I have them on the desktop, but I'll save them as Poke, like Photoshop or something like that, okay? Photoshop 1, okay? Something like that, okay? And then you save it like that, okay? If you wanted him to move around, okay, you would have to do something with things like this, okay? We can do another tutorial on this because I'm trying to do just the backgrounds right now. But what you could do is you could do something like this. Like, let's say I want to move his ears. Like, the tiniest bit of animation is fine. So what I did was I selected a lasso tool and I just kind of went around him, okay? So it creates this thing here. And then I can go Edit, Transform, and I can do something like rotate it, okay? This is the point of rotation. So I can actually move this down here and like kind of pivot him like that, okay? Now, okay, so and then I have to accept it up here. So I accept this, okay? And what I might want to do is pull this in a little bit, okay? And let it go. And I can deselect it and see what I get. Okay, it's a little bit weird here. So what I'd want to do is I'd want to do a little bit of like color work or like paint work. I'm looking for the eyedropper tool here. Let me see. Nope, that's not what this guy's. Let me see. Oh, it's gotta be here, maybe. Nope, no. Where's my eyedropper? Oh, there it is. I'm sorry. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to get pick the eyedropper tool, and what will happen is down here, like it'll read this color. See this yellow color? So see how it read that? That's good. And then I can take like a paintbrush, for example. This is like kind of an easy fix. Get a kind of a solid paintbrush. These will do different things. Okay. I don't know. 15 pixels seems fine. Okay. Like that's how big it is. That seems good. And then you could like kind of clean it up by painting. In this case, okay, that's pretty good. So it looks good. So what's going to happen is he's got these sort of, and then let's make a second version of it, okay? Let me see. And then what I do is I have to export it for web. Okay. Go save it. Okay, I'm keeping the same size. So you have to make the same size again. PNG. I'm going to say Poke Photoshop. Shop 2. Okay. And then he's good to go. And so I'm going to go like this. I'm going to get rid of the mirror, the window for a second. Let's go Scratch. I'm going to make a new Scratch, upload sprite from file. Okay. And then what I can do is I can just load one of those Poke files. Let me see where it go. So here's Poke Photoshop 1. Okay. And there he is. Okay. And he's pretty good. Like there, sometimes you can see there's like a little bit of edge. What I'm worried about is kind of like quality of him, right? But I think he'll shrink down well in this particular instance. He seems pretty good. You know. And then like the thing with him is that let me move him over here. Is that you want his like ear to move around, right? So I'm gonna go to his costumes and just add a new costume, and that's gonna be Poke 2, like that. Okay, and he's gonna go like that, and so then he's gonna move around. So then I can script him like, you know, we know how to do this. Go like this, and just kind of move his costume around. Let's see here. There you go. Okay, and then he'll do this. So you can see he's moving his. It's running a background. There you go. You can see. There he is. He's just kind of moving there. He's very excited. Okay, so that seems pretty good for this video, and I'll do the turtle in the next video.